Welcome to your online coffee break, where we discuss bite-sized topics that inspire, educate, and entertain. Here's your host, a software innovator, award-winning marketer, and astronomy and space buff, Chuck Fields.
Hello, thanks for joining me today for your online coffee break. Today I'm thrilled to introduce my special guest, Zoe Perry. Zoe is best known for portraying Mary Cooper in Young Sheldon, one of the most watched comedies on network TV. Previously, Zoe had recurring roles in the television series Scandal and The Family, and guest starred in Grey's Anatomy and Law & Order: Criminal Intent. Zoe was also a guest star on NCIS and Cold Case. Most recently, Zoe starred alongside Gary Cole in the new movie Everyday Miracles.
I got you. Cut!
Here, take her.
All right. Cotton, back up! How did you learn to handle horses like that?
You are a celebrity.
My daddy was a preacher.
Is it true that you can heal people?
It was all going fine until things started to happen. First one was a girl, crippled.
It worked. You healed her. These good people need you, Cotton.
I saw a bunch of scared people willing to believe anything just to help lessen that fear.
You can't run from the truth, Cotton.
The past has a way of catching up to you.
Dragging me around the circuit like some sort of freak show.
The prodigal son has returned.
She'll never leave you alone.
I didn't leave because of the trouble, I left because of you.
I tend to pay attention to the everyday miracles. It seems like you figured out what's worth running away from. Maybe it's time you figured out what's worth staying for.
Online coffee break.
Chuck, hi, this is Zoe.
Zoe, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me today. Really appreciate it.
Oh, of course, yeah. Thanks for having me.
Well, Zoe, I have to say, you have this incredible career. Of course, you play Mary Cooper on the massive comedy hit Young Sheldon. You just starred in the new movie Everyday Miracles, which literally just came out. Now, I want to talk to you about both of those, of course, but first, I'd like to take a step back a little bit and talk a little bit how talent runs in your family.
Oh,
Yeah, now I understand your parents, Jeff Perry and Laurie Metcalf, both have had successful careers as actors. Can you tell us a little bit more? What was it like growing up around film and television sets all your life?
well, I guess at first it was growing up around theater artists because
Yeah.
for the bulk of my childhood, they were doing a lot of theater and started a theater company in Chicago called Steppenwolf.
Ah, yes.
And so I think that was kind of my first introduction into, the arts and kind of having a fascination and also just love for watching them. And then when we moved to Los Angeles, got to then experience some, TV sets,
Wow.
just walk, following them along. And so, yeah, I guess it's been a unique life in that way. And, I guess the only one I've known, but yeah, always had a fascination with what they did. Didn't think I would pursue it myself because I was far too shy.
Yeah, I heard in high school you said you were too shy to do it. So, what happened?
Oh,
How
God.
did you get over that and decide, okay, I am going to go into this?
I think the short answer is I had gone to college. I transferred after my freshman year. I was now at Northwestern University. I didn't know that many people, and I think I just finally got up the gumption to audition for something because I sort of wanted, like an instant group. And I was lucky enough to be cast, and that's exactly kind of what I got. I just found myself amongst these artists that I kind of, recognized the vibe of from my youth and just loved it. And that was that. And I was like, oh no, I like this far too much.
Oh, that's good. So instead of being terrifying because of shyness, because I could understand that, it sort of went over there, and you were like, "This is my comfort zone. These are my people."
Yeah.
Oh,
my
that's
fellow
wonderful.
freaks.
Now you've had some amazing roles, like you said, from theater to several TV hit shows like NCIS, Grey's Anatomy, and The Family. But I love how you followed your mother's footsteps literally for the amazing series Young Sheldon. A lot of folks out there might not know that your mother, Lori, actually played Sheldon's mom on The Big Bang Theory. Can you tell us more just how your role on Young Sheldon came about?
Well, nepotism in this case did not hurt. I was very grateful that she started on that path because without her, I don't know that I would be in this very privileged position. When it came to pass that Jim Parsons and Chuck Lorre and Steve Millara were pursuing this spin-off, I remember my mom telling me, "Well, you have to audition." I was like, "Well, sure, I'd love to if I'm at all right." And luckily enough, they cast our young Ian Armitage first, and he's
so
remarkable. And just by virtue of his age, because I guess they could have landed on an actor of a slew of ages.
Sure.
It just so worked out that I could be age appropriate to play it. So thank you, Ian. And so I auditioned and then was again lucky enough to be cast, and I'm just so grateful.
I was so impressed by that. I was just wondering, was it difficult to play the younger version of a role that your mom had already played? Was that intimidating in any way, or did it just come natural?
It was for sure intimidating. I mean, I think the process of auditioning and everything was intimidating in that on paper it seemed like such a kind of sure bet, but having worked in this business for a while, that nothing's really guaranteed. And I thought, well, if I screw this up, I really have egg on my face. But when I was cast, I definitely felt a duty to honor what she had established, and I had, even before auditioning, had rewatched all of her footage because I wanted to make sure that I was following certain things that had been kind of rooted into the character. I mean, wanted to do the voice, wanted to know what mannerisms she kind of fell into. Right. And then I was afforded this kind of great opportunity to explore it on my own as well, because the writers are so talented and they know these characters, I think, better than any of us playing them do. And they really kind of created a Mary in Young Sheldon that is kind of her own invention. She's at a different stage in her life, raising young kids and kind of exploring the depths and perhaps limits of her faith. It's all a bit of a different context in our show. And so I feel so lucky that I get to sort of figure out for myself who Mary is at this particular stage of her life.
Well, I tell you, you nailed it. She's a beautiful character. It's wonderful. My wife and I are huge fans of the show, as are millions of other people out there. The kids do a great job. And speaking of other phenomenal shows, you just had this movie that came out called Everyday Miracles with Gary Cole.
Yeah.
Can you just tell our audience just a little bit what this movie's about?
It's about a young man who is struggling with his past and who finds kind of safe harbor and with a family who's also struggling with theirs. And I think it's sort of about, I think, coming to terms with our demons, but also with our gifts, and sort of finding peace in the present.
I love that. Yeah,
my takeaway.
No, it is neat. And again, it literally just came out today, so I haven't had a chance to see it. But the trailer is remarkable for those out there. It's about a reluctant faith healer who you actually play the girl who falls in love with the faith healer. So that's kind of a different role because they actually have the mother character that's sort of the evangelist. So you're playing sort of a different role this time. What was that like playing that character for you?
It was such a great, fun experience. I was so delighted to be a part of it. We made it at a time that was, a while back. And so it was a great new experience to be on a set like that. And I had history with Gary Cole because he's also a member of Steppenwolf. And so I had known him forever. Rondi Reed, also a member of Steppenwolf. And Lucia Strauss, a wonderful Chicago actress. We had a lot of good Midwesterners on that shoot. And it was just such a fun experience. Loved working with Eric and Danny and Gary, everyone. And Marty Madden was such a delight. And
that's great.
Yeah, we just had a really fun time, and I'm so happy for Marty that this movie is getting its chance to, come out and be seen.
I was going to ask you about that because I know it's streaming on Amazon, but obviously, we're going through these really weird times right now. Is it going to be streaming mainly for a while, or any idea if it's going to be released in theaters, or should we stick to the streams for now?
That's such a good question. I hope that it gets a chance, but for now, streaming and there are plenty of eyeballs out there that are, I think, looking for for new content, and boy, do they have options.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. So I'm all for works finding their niche on little streaming screens. It's wonderful.
Oh, it's such a great way to watch movies too. Anyway, I did want to ask you. I guess bringing that, how COVID's affected anything. I'm going to go back to Young Sheldon for a second. We're just so excited about season 4, and we're just like, you guys usually start filming by now, but obviously that's affected that. I don't know if you're at liberty to say, are you starting filming? Any plans soon? Or I know things are on hold according to what I've seen.
We have a plan to start pretty soon. Knock on wood, we'll be back to work in this next month, and then hopefully we'll get this 4th season out to everyone as quick as we can.
Well, we are keeping
but luckily, luckily we're not too delayed, so we should be on a similar track.
Oh, we can't wait on that because my wife and I were just talking the other day because we just started watching season 3 again because, streaming.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And we were thinking, well, they better start filming soon because these kids are just going to grow so fast.
They grow fast.
I do have one more silly question, I guess. Of all these amazing roles you've had, all the from theater to TV to movies, what's been your most difficult role?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I wonder how I even think of difficult. I guess they're all difficult in their own way, trying to find your way into a character and what similarities you have and what differences. With Mary, I definitely have my own stubborn streak.
Nice.
That we share. I definitely can be, perhaps controlling and organizational in matters of the house and maybe even the heart. I don't know,
well,
but she does tend to run a little hotter than me and can be perhaps a little more tense. But then when it comes to Max in the movie, oh gosh. Such a thrill kind of playing that because she's definitely a bit more no nonsense than I am, but allowed a sort of goofy side, and that's always a fun thing to play, a bit of a contradiction.
That's wonderful. Zoe, again, I just can't commend you enough on this incredible career. I want to just thank you for coming into our homes and entertaining us. We really do appreciate that. And
Oh,
and
so
I
sweet.
just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for just joining us today. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, Zoe.
Thanks for having me. Pleasure.
Online coffee break.
Well, I really enjoyed my conversation with Zoe today, and I'm enjoying the new movie Everyday Miracles. Also cannot wait till Young Sheldon Season 4 comes out. Hopefully not too long. We'll see. Anyway, if you'd like to stream Everyday Miracles, it's streaming now on Amazon. If you'd like more information, just go to the website cinedigm.com. That's CINEDIGM.com. I want to thank Zoe for joining me today. I want to thank you for joining us as well. We'd appreciate it if you'd share this episode with a friend. We'd also appreciate it if you give us a like if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're listening on Apple Podcasts. If you can give us a 5-star rating, we'd certainly appreciate that too. At any rate, thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time. God bless.